going to pick up a little bit, but they really don't have the ability to go much more than 7 deep, so you have to kind of manage your offensive personnel as well as you do your defensive personnel in a situation like that.
Alvaro Fulgaris checks in for Iowa, number 7. He can light it up from 3 and miss inside, and Osimo rips it away. Isaiah Howard also on the floor for the Hawkeyes, number 23. Here's Reynolds.
Grayson Grove in the ball game, made a living against Northwestern. 6 of 6 on screen and rolls. All 6 of his hoops were dunks.
Brings some energy off the bench as well.
Good defense by Iowa. Well done.
There's a cut from Reynolds and lays it up and in.
I mean, just when it looks like you've done your job, if you turn your head and get out of your stance for a minute, Minnesota is going to back cut you.
Exactly that possession is what Ben McCollum, part of what he preached to his team today, is watch the action behind the ball. Banks missed it inside, and Tyson bring it up the floor for the Gophers. There's Reynolds again on the drive, and he's fouled.
9% from the foul line. That's last in the Big Ten in that particular area.
Yeah, that's been a stat that has plagued the Gophers here for a long time. They're at the bottom, near the bottom as a team in free throw shooting percentage. And that was a key stat for Minnesota in the win at Evanston. Here's Howard spinning. Fulgaris will fire. Can't hit. There's the seal from Grove.
Really nice job by Grove of understanding angles and got his hip into his man and able to corral the rebound.
8-0 Minnesota run. Tyson add to it. Yes.
And Corey, his recognition, a lot of times guys will drill themselves into trouble.
Because at Iowa State, at Michigan State, they're undefeated against unranked teams. They're 12-0. Harris, guarded by Bobby Durkin. On the cut, here's Banks. Couldn't finish at the rim. And Osimo the rebound. Osimo up the floor to Grove.
Well, that was a beautiful pass. And Grove just didn't take his time, Corey, because that was tailor-made in transition.
Isaac Osimo leads Minnesota in assists. Here's Howard. He'll fire for 3. Way off. Long rebound to Tate Sage. Another chance here for the Hawkeyes. And let's see.
Shot clock. For Iowa right now has been their defensive transition. They've got to get back and get situated before Minnesota's able to get up and down the floor, and that's a good start.
On take there from Howard.
Yeah, someone had to attack the rim.
It's a drought of nearly 6 minutes, a scoring drought for the Hawkeyes. Minnesota's lead is 7. Holmes pokes it free, and Tyson will let it roll out of bounds.
And you know what? That might have been a little bit of a break for Iowa in this regard with that shot clock review. It kind of stemmed the tide. It kind of took a little bit of the air out because the momentum, and it still is with Minnesota, but it gave them a little bit of a chance to regroup here without burning the timeout.
5 to shoot for Tyson.
Nice job.
That was Cam Mannion. Got a piece of that.
Now that's honoring the scouting report. They talked about that and coming off that curl and attacking the shooting pocket. Well done by Iowa defensively.
Scotch off the fake and on the floor.
Boy, that's a
dangerous pass. Fortunate that Minnesota retains it. Reynolds with a tip. It's Tyson. Boy, a scattered possession for Minnesota, but the ball in the hands of the right guy, Cade Tyson.
That was almost turned over twice.
And now Minnesota comes back with a 9-0 run. Turnover, Iowa. 5th Hawkeye turnover.
This is a team that Iowa that leads the conference in turnover margin at +5.
Forcing the opposition to around 15 turnovers per game.
Good rip.
Reynolds, baseline, couldn't finish.
I don't think he thought he was going to be that open on that rip. The weak side help just wasn't there.
Contact inside, offensive foul. Checks in for Minnesota. Kate Tyson just picked up his second foul. So Tyson has 2, Crocker Johnson has 2. Next Minnesota foul puts the Hawkeyes at the free throw line.
Good job by Osama being there on the closeout.
Holmes, tough shot, no. Maniau tip, no. And then Grove pulls it away.
We talked about Howard, but even though statistically he hasn't really cracked the book, Maniau has given a nice lift off the bench with his effort on both ends, most recently trying to keep that possession alive.
That's the Hawkeyes back in the scoring drought. More than 4 minutes gone by without a point. And Howard with the foul on Reynolds. That's the first on Howard. Coming up, stay tuned. My call, Raphael Davis standing by for the State Farm halftime report. Check in with Mike and Raphael in a bit from our BTN studios in Chicago. I love Mike Hall's nickname for you. America's favorite human.
Is that Central America? I'm not, because it's sure not here.
I think it is all the Americans.
All right.
All of them.
That's an election I would demand a recount for sure.
3 to shoot for Reynolds. This is not really his game. Not a great three-point shooter.
Yeah, to your point, right around 22%. Doesn't take a whole lot of it.
Spin there from Combs and a better finish.
But Combs and Howard have been the offensive story for the Iowa Hawkeyes. And, you know, with leading scorer and playmaker, Bennett Sturts has really been hampered by fouls throughout this first half. If you're Iowa, only being down 6 and withstanding a little double-digit run here from Minnesota, you have to feel pretty good about where you are right now.
Combs averages 6 points per game. He has a team-high 9. Durkin, the three-point shot hasn't been there. League play so far for the Davidson transfer. He was 36% with Davidson. He's only 3 of 15 so far as a Gopher in conference play. Under a minute to play until halftime. There's Koch. Picks up the dribble. And now Howard left hand, left it short. And Reynolds will slow things down. Reynolds has had a great first half. Sets up Shinholster for 3.
Reynolds turns the corner, draws the defender. Shinholster is shot ready in the right corner. And Reynolds was a tremendous elite distributor last time out with 13 assists at Northwestern.
Howard shoots for 3. And Maniau with the offensive rebound. 3 to play in the half. Sage underneath, and the bucket will count. And there's the first half from the barn. And Minnesota with a 7-point lead. Minnesota playing without 2 starters, losing Chauncey Willis Jr. and Robert Viola for the season. Rolfs at a big screen on Sturts. He hit the deck. Crocker Johnson cornered 3. 3-point shot. It's not falling for either team tonight. Minnesota 3 out of 14. The Hawkeyes 2 out of 11. Can Howard change that? Way off. Air ball. There's Tyson. He knew that was off from the start.
He went right after it, but a good job by Iowa recognizing that. Sturts was able to kind of get his hip into him as Tyson went to retrieve his own miss.
Tyson at 10 points at halftime. Just 2 points here in the second half. And Reynolds will be called for the foul as Sage set the screen. That's the second on Reynolds.
Yeah, that's the right call. Now, sometimes you'll see that be an offensive foul if the person setting the screen, in that case, Sage, doesn't come to a stop. But in that case, he did, and Reynolds just kind of blew him up.
Here's Osama up top for 3. Crocker Johnson with the rebound. Comes out. Minnesota has won 4 straight. The Hawkeyes have won 3 straight games here at the barn.
And there's no zone look defensively by the Gophers to give Iowa a different look.
With passing into the corner, setting up Sage for three. The Hawkeyes attack the zone, and Sage buries the three.
That may be the last time you see the zone for a while, because they just carved that up. They got the ball right in the gut of the defense, flipped it from side to side. The ball didn't stick. Trying to buy some time before the next media timeout, and we're not going to see probably too many more sequences of zone defense unless it's out of absolute necessity for Minnesota.
First made three this half for the Hawkeyes, and the ninth made all season for the freshman Tate Sage. Osima lost it. Turnover. Here come the Hawkeyes up the floor. Banks, Crocker, Johnson challenging, and no whistle. And now Reynolds got away with a shove here inside. It scores, and a foul. So at 17, and Minnesota's upset win here over then 22nd ranked Indiana. Minnesota tonight looking to knock off 19th ranked Iowa.
Ooh, man.
That was tipped by Reynolds as Sturtz was not on the same page there for a moment with Koch.
The other thing that hops out at you as you take a look at the stats, Iowa's a team that leads the conference in turnover margin at +5. Tonight, -5. So the Golden Gophers have been able to kind of flip that script on.
Banks knocks down the three.
And a good delivery by Sturtz. You get the dribble drive, you get in the lane, you force the white jerseys to collapse, and then you put it right in the shooting pocket.
Banks, he shoots a high percentage, but the volume isn't there. He's now 6 out of 13 from the three-point line this season. Osima spinning in traffic, and a foul.
Took a look at that graphic, Corey. That's a team in Iowa. They get a lot of their points from the foul line. 17 per ball game to be exact, only one tonight.
Bulgaris, boy, he passed up a shot. And the Hawkeyes turn it over. Durkin trailing for three. Timeout, Hawkeyes. Sturtz in the paint and able to bury the jumper.
I mean, he scored, but he had to work for that. I mean, he had to try to get by Reynolds after a pretty good stunt by Grove to kind of force him out. And even though he made that, that was a tough conversion by Bennett Sturtz.
To 9 points. Hawkeyes do not have a player yet into double figures. Crocker Johnson backing down Koch with the left hand. And they'll shoot Michigan State last night and are in the Twin Cities as we speak in advance of Friday's game here at the Barn. Reynolds trying to get around Banks, and he does. Season high 19 points for Langston Reynolds. Sturtz sets up Sage from the corner, no, and Grove with the rebound. Hawkeyes is 4 of 17 from the three-point line here tonight. Backdoor cutting. Durkin. Crocker Johnson. And Grove rips the rebound down. Sets up Crocker Johnson again.
And you mentioned Iowa struggling from behind the arc. This is a team where in the Hawkeyes came in shooting 38% from behind the arc.
Gophers haven't been great in that department either tonight. They're 4 out of 19 as Sturtz is fouled. 0 of 5 from threes, 2 of 5 at the foul line. And Sturtz, though, becomes the first Hawkeye to double figures tonight. He has 10. Reynolds has a season-high 19. And Banks the rebound. It's his 5th rebound to go with 5 points. Iowa chance to bring it into single digits. Stripped down the floor. Sturtz, the late lead. I don't think Banks was ready for that pass.
Way too congested in there.
13th Iowa turnover.
Iowa now usually +5 in turnover margin. Tonight, -7.
Now it looks like Minnesota is really trying to slow this game down.
Oh, there's the back door.
Backdoor is Tyson.
Boy, if you lose defensive eye or positioning defensive position for just a split second, almost assuredly Minnesota will recognize and take advantage.
Brendan Austin on the floor right now for the Hawkeyes. This is Starks, and he's fouled by